Right, we're now back in my room, ready to turn the computer on. This is how I usually run it when it's folding. I don't bother using side panels or the front either, because they just hinder airflow and keep all the hot air in. This is actually the box that the 2500K came in. As you can see, I was quite confused when it came in a 4690K box, but I presume this is what the person has upgraded to, and it's got the stock heatsink and the i5 sticker in there and everything, so that's interesting. Also, it's 27 degrees in here today, which is awful. I hate it when it's hot. And also this power supply here, which was providing a bit of air and taking out the hot air to outside, has unfortunately died on this Molex rail here, because apparently it's only supposed to have 7.5 watts put through it. I tried to hook up this Delta fan down here to it, which is 20 watts, so that didn't end very well, considering it was already powering those fans there. So, booting the computer up. I think I've got all the cables I need plugged in. Mouse, keyboard. Turn the power supply on down here. Yeah, that's on. Right, let's boot her up. There she goes. Nice and noisy. Right, CPU has been changed. Never. F1. Right, now we're in the BIOS, running at 39 degrees idle, which is quite nice. Probably running overclocked already. Yeah, there we go. 4 GHz, because I'm not allowed to boot anything at stock because it's too slow. I think this is 3.3 at stock, which is terrible. Core voltage is just manually set. Hopefully no XMP isn't on. Actually, I can't put XMP on because it'd probably be too fast anyway. So what I'll do is I'll try and boot at 4 GHz. I'll put the DRAM frequency to 2133, and I'll set the timings, link timings. There we go, 10, 12, 12, 28, 1T, which is perfectly fine to start with. Hopefully it'll run 2133, my other i5 2550K does. If it doesn't, I'll have to try 1866, which will be a bit annoying, but we will see if she boots. You're already at 40 degrees, that's good. Right, save and exit. Save changes and reboot, or I could have just pressed F10, but that would be much too easy, right? Here we go. Nice black screen. It is actually booting up, but my monitor's going through all of its various display ports, but you can see here that the keyboard is on, and when it gets round to display port again, hopefully it will be booting up. There we go. Excellent. Horrible Windows logo. There we go. 4K monitor problems right there. Yes, my Windows is genuine, but I've activated it about 50 times because I reinstall it every now and then. So, right, I'll reboot the computer like it's saying to do. Yes, and I'll cut back in. Right, so I've booted back into Windows, and as you can see, it's running at a whopping 4 GHz at 1.24 volts. A bit of V-droop on this board. CPU-Z always reads 0.01 volts lower than it actually is in the BIOS. Z77 M-Power is the board I'm using with the BIOS shown. And then the memory has booted in at XMP of 2133, which is quite nice. I might try 2400. Although it's probably not going to work because it's a Sandy Bridge CPU. Right, so that's working, which is good. I'll see how it overclocks now and then come back with the results. Right, so we're here in Cinebench R15, as you can see there. Scored 543 points, which is terrible, but it's out at 4 GHz. You can see on my score list, if it focuses down here, it's probably about the same as my 2550K without the RAM at 2133. I presume that was at 1600. You can see my various other, these are all 1155 CPUs with my 2600K and 3770K at the top there. High score with my i5 is down there at 724, so that's what we're going to try and beat. Well, that's probably not going to happen today on air cooling, considering that was at 5.35 GHz. This CPU probably won't do that. I'm not expecting it to, but I reckon should get at least 680 points out of it today, considering it's 27 degrees. Now, as you can see with the temperatures, maximum temperature reached during this benchmark is 54 degrees, which isn't really too bad, considering it is 27 degrees still in the room. So, I'm going to see how far this thing can overclock. I'll probably go maybe to 1.5 volts, I'll see how the temps are. I'll go up to like 75, 80 degrees maybe. There's no point pushing it too far if it's not an amazing overclocker on air cooling, because I do have the phase cooler, so I don't want to be degrading it on air cooling for no reason. So we'll see how far it'll go. So then, here we are at 4.8 GHz on 1.45 volts in the BIOS. As you can see, it's not the best chip ever. 4.8 GHz, 1.45 volts isn't really something you could run 24/7. 1.4 volts it'll do 4.7, and on 1.35 volts it'll do 4.6, so this is a fairly average chip. As you can see on this Thermalright Silver Arrow, even the ambient temperature is now 28 degrees here. You can see it hasn't managed to get above 70 degrees even though I'm using a single fan, because this is a very overkill cooler for this chip, and the fan does start to spin up if it goes over 70 degrees. The RAM's still at 2133, and it's managed to get a score of 652. And as you can see, the scores it's got here as I've gone up and overclocked it more. First one was at 4 GHz, as you saw. Second was at 4.4, third at 4.6, and this one was at 4.8. Now realistically, when we go up to 5 GHz, we're looking at about 680 to 690 points. So it should get up to here, but I'm not entirely sure how much voltage it's going to need. I think it's just going to need a tad over 1.5 volts. I reckon 1.52 will probably do it, but we'll have to see. Right, it would seem I'm quite good at guessing, because believe it or not, for 5 GHz it needed 1.52 volts, which is actually 1.53 in the BIOS. And also, I've managed to use a 49 times multiplier of 102 bus speed, which is quite nice, because it now means the memory is running at nearly 2200 MHz, which is good. I've run it in real time and turned Explorer off and CPU-Z for running the benchmark. It's got 685, which isn't too bad for 5 GHz, that's where it should be. I'm going to try a couple more runs and see if I can get it any higher, but that's it for now. It's not the best chip ever, but fairly pleased with it. Should be alright on phase cooling. Probably 5.3, 5.4 GHz maybe. Yeah, probably not going to keep it for a very long time, and I might get another one, but I'll see what this memory controller can get up to on this voltage. I don't know about the temps because I haven't bothered running core temp on this run, but on the MSI board it does actually have the temperature on the post readout, which you can see down there, and that is the temperature in real time. Once you get into Windows, I'm running the fan on 100% now. I think it got up to 75, the maximum I saw on the post readout during the run, so that's not too bad. So I'll see if I can go a bit higher on that base clock, see if I can improve the score a little. I would like to get 700, but that might take 5.1, which I don't think this CPU is going to do on air cooling now. So that's the result. Not bad. Now here's an interesting thing. This CPU's got quite a good memory controller. Here we go, 48 multiplier, 104.4 base clock. Still on the same CPU voltage, but the RAM is over 2200 MHz, which means this chip has quite a good ICM. My 2550K can't do that on the memory or the base clock at all, so this is quite a good chip. It's also boosted my score at pretty much the same frequency to 689 as well, which puts it up here. As you can see, there's my previous score, 685. Only 4 more points, a little bit higher. Not quite 700, but I need 5.1, 5.15, maybe even 5.2 to get that. So that's quite successful really. I'm quite pleased with this chip because I'll be able to run the memory a bit faster than usual. Right, I'm going to do a few more tests now, probably a couple of other Cinebenches, maybe Super Pi, W Prime, things like that. See ya.